So I went and watched Mission Impossible: A Dead Reckoning Part 1 on Saturday, the day that it came out here in Vietnam. Stupid name for a film, but luckily for me, absolutely great film. Say what you will about Tom Cruise, the man. He's crazier than a box of frogs. Good God, he's pretty much the only person in Hollywood right now who is making real action films. This is going to be a very quick, spoiler-free review of the film and why I think you should go and watch it. First off, the plot, which is the most basic, generic spy thriller action film plot narrative you are ever going to see. Have you ever seen an action film? Have you ever seen a James Bond film? You've seen this plot a million times, basically. There's a MacGuffin. Bad guys want to get the MacGuffin. If bad guys get the MacGuffin, the world ends. Our good guys have to get to the MacGuffin first and stop them. And there's a whole bunch of, twists and turns within who has the MacGuffin, who doesn't have the MacGuffin. There's a love interest. It's your most basic, generic action spy thriller film, but it doesn't really matter because the only reason these kinds of narratives exist is to create situations for action set pieces and a little bit of tense drama, thriller drama, really. And that's what this does wonderfully. The first half of the film is a kind of spy thriller, and then the second half of the film is just a straight out balls to the wall action film with a bunch of really great set pieces, which I'll talk about the action now, I guess. The action here is fantastic. As I said earlier, Tom Cruise is absolutely batshit insane, but he does make absolutely great action films, mainly because he actually rides a motorbike off a cliff in Venezuela 6 times in a day so that he gets that perfect action shot. He straps himself to the outside of the Orient Express and fights a man on the top of it. None of this green screen bullshit. And I think that's why Top Gun did really well last summer. It was because people my age are nostalgic for when films were real. I know when I'm watching a Marvel movie, or I'm watching just any modern action film, really. Indiana Jones 5 is a prime example of this. All of the action looks fake as hell, and I don't enjoy it as a result. It just doesn't give me that same sort of dopamine kick. It doesn't have any stakes to it, right? Because my monkey brain knows that that's just two people, probably not even two people, actually, in the end. It's two computer-generated people on top of a computer-generated train, which is in front of a computer-generated background. Whereas in this film, you can see that it is Tom Cruise or stunt doubles stood on the top of a train, or jumping off a cliff, or driving a car around real locations with real actors doing real stunts, and then they just enhanced that with digital effects. And I personally think that is the best way to make movies. And I mean, I know for Marvel you can't make a talking raccoon. There's an exception for that. But if you're making a spy thriller, for God's sake, do not film it in a warehouse in front of a green screen. Go out and film actual stunts. And I think that's what people want. And I think that's why the box office this summer is being so depressed. There is no reason to go out and watch these CGI crapfests at the theatre. Whereas this movie is a definite film that I think you need to go and watch at the cinema. Now, the other thing that I was kind of surprised about this film is it had some genuine laughs in it, which I can't remember any of the other Mission Impossible films having any humour in. But here there were a few genuine laughs, and that was welcome too. Of course, the acting is perfectly fine, as you would expect from this kind of production. And just overall, this was a really, really great. It's just a real old school action film where real actors did real stunts in real locations, and I am all for that. So I'm going to say that this is definitely a film I recommend you go out and watch at the cinema. Don't wait for streaming. If you like that, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And next week, I will be back with my normal, usual fare of retrospective reviews. I've just been incredibly busy with life work, and admin.